Hi FlossTube, good evening. It is December 16th. We're getting close to Christmas. I can't believe that. But anyway, my name is Amy. I am Guilford Girl Stitching here on FlossTube. This is episode number 2, and I'm also Guilford Girl Stitching on Instagram. So go look for me there too, please. Okay, so I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my first video. It was a lot of exciting to see the numbers go up and everything, and it was just a lot of fun to do it. So I'm back to show you some more stuff. I do want to say thank you to Official Mermaid Cove 1376 for the shout out. I don't know her, but I went and watched a couple of her videos. She's great. She does some great mermaids and a bunch of other things, so go check her out. And also Amy Zellers and Mary Lou Bennett, I believe, mentioned me. They are two crossed stitchers. They are women I met at Stitch New England, and they are fabulous. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Amy and something we're going to do later on in the video. But I did want to give a little bit more information about me. I used to stitch back right after college, like in the mid-90s. Yeah, that's how old I am. But I didn't get too seriously into it. There wasn't, I mean, Etsy wasn't a thing. There was, I felt like the patterns and things that were available were just not my style. And I did have a local LNS at the time, and I went in there and they were very dismissive because I asked where the Ada was, and they said that they didn't sell Ada and you weren't a real stitcher if you used Ada. They are no longer in existence, and I do still stitch on Ada. When I started stitching again back in 2019, I was shopping for my niece wanted a sewing machine, and I was shopping around looking for accessories for her, and I turned down an aisle. I was at Hobby Lobby, not my favorite place, but needs a must sometimes. So I was at Hobby Lobby, and I turned down a corner, and then I was down in the cross stitch aisle, and I was like, oh my God, I used to love doing this. And I thought about it, and I kept thinking about it, and it wouldn't leave my mind. So I decided to go ahead and buy myself a little kit. My thinking was, it was now the new year in 2019, and I thought, I want to stop using my phone so much and do something else. So I started stitching. Then I just started researching on Facebook, found a whole bunch of groups, found about the patterns that you can buy on Etsy, all sorts of different kinds, all different dyed fabrics, and it just, everything out there just was so much more exciting than it had been to me back in the 90s. So that's how I got back into cross stitch. My name on here and on Instagram is Guilford Girl Stitching. I am from Guilford, Connecticut. There actually is a little bit of a weird story about how I came up with that. You would think, oh, well, I'm from Guilford, I'm a girl and I stitch. But I was actually thinking more of someone else in when I named that, because I used to go, this gets a little weird, and if you don't believe in this kind of stuff, I'm sorry. I actually do. I used to go to, Guilford's really old. We were established in 1639, and there are a bunch of houses in my town that have names and dates on them. And there's a house that is now used for like a wellness center kind of a place. I can't remember the date on it, but it was the William Starr House, Starr spelled S-T-A-R-R. And I used to go there to do like a group meditation kind of a thing. And when I was put under the group meditation this one time, all of a sudden there's a young girl appeared to me, and she was staring at the window, and she kind of turned around and she's like, hi, I'm Elizabeth. She's like, this used to be my room, and I just love watching everybody out the window. And she's like, it's so cool you guys are here. This is so much fun. And it was just like this spirit of this young girl. And I didn't think much of it. I thought maybe I was just imagining things. And then a few years later, my sister and I had already started stitching again. So this is maybe, it was, I think after restrictions of the pandemic. So it's like maybe 2020, 2021, things had started to get back to normal a little bit. We go to, I can't remember, the Whitfield house in Guilford, which is like the oldest stone house in New England or something. And it's now a museum and it's been there forever. And I walk up the stairs to the 3rd floor and we're looking at all these things that had been from Guilford's past. And there was a display of cross stitching from these girls in Guilford who used to stitch. And one of them said Elizabeth Starr, Starr. And I was like, oh, there was an Elizabeth Starr. So maybe I really did see that. But so when I named my Instagram Guilford Girl Stitching, it had to do with me being from Guilford and that there were these other girls who stitched once upon a time in Guilford. And so that's where that came from. It's a long story, convoluted, but that's how I got my name. So I've been stitching now for about 6 years. I do mostly Aida. I do a lot of quirky birds. That's my favorite. I like bright colors. I like a little bit of everything. I feel like the only thing that I consistently do would be birds. I feel like I'm always working on a bird somewhere. And 2 of the projects I'm going to show you that I'm working on or going to start are birds. So that's about me. I do go to Steel City Stitchers Retreat. I've gone every year, so this coming April will be my 4th year, and it's the 4th year they're hosting it. So if I look familiar to you, maybe you've seen me there. I've also gone to both of the Stitch New England retreats. I don't plan on going next year in the fall, because a group of my friends from Steel City Stitchers and I are doing what I call a stitchcation, which is just as we rented a house up in upstate New York near, I can't think of the name of the store, the one in upstate New York. It'll come to me. But anyway, we're doing that. We're going to be up there for a whole week. And I'm really excited for that. That's going to be great fun. But it's around the same time as Stitch New England. And I do work full time. And I just don't have that much PTO available to me. So I can't afford more than like 2 retreats. And I'm considering that Stitch Vacation a retreat a year. And both finance-wise and time-wise. But so anyway, I did do Jingle Ball for the first time this past year. It's easier for me to talk just myself here than it is on some of those chat rooms. I very much enjoyed it. I did not get on too much. I have to admit, I just think it is too much for me this time of the year. December is just very hectic in general, and I just had so much going on that I didn't really have too much time. So what I did do, I did a little shopping. I did go into the Bookworms chat room. I talked a little bit, but I also was quiet a lot and just listened, and I very much enjoyed that. I am definitely looking forward to, they're going to be doing more this year. Coming up, they're going to be doing like a spring mingle in May, and then a midsummer stitch in July. So I think those times of the year will be better, and maybe I'll be a little bit more organized, and I'll know what to expect, and I'll be more comfortable in the chat rooms and things like that. But it was just, Steph does such an amazing job for the community, and it was an amazing event, and everybody who put time and effort into it and into the entertainment and, you know, the special patterns, things like that. It was all amazing. And I do look forward to doing more of those. I did buy a couple things, not much. I did get the Jingle Ball baubles. I'm not going to go through it because I don't want to take the chances of showing any patterns. But you can see on the back here some really, really gorgeous patterns. I know I really plan on doing the Teresa Kogut Santa. That is just stunning. It's so cute. And what I love about it, it was only like 71 by 71 or 79 by 79. It is not that big. I thought it was going to be much bigger. So, and I love the one on the front. They're just great little patterns. I'm very excited that I bought this. And then I splurged on something else. Heartstring samplery. I apologize, I don't know the designer's name, but her mom, Marie, was selling some project bags she made on there. And so I was able to grab one. Her nephew was selling some too, and his were going, part of the funds were, or all the funds, I don't remember, were going to charity, which I thought was amazing. And I kind of wanted one of his. I love the idea that it was her nephew. I'm very close to my nephews and my niece. I love them dearly. So I just thought that was really nice. But I saw this one and it had birds. And like I said, I like birds. So I got this one. It's a great little size. It is so well made. It's got the little thingy on there. So I'm very pleased I got that. So other things that I have purchased recently. Well, actually not recently. I did the Moe's sale for the 12 Days of Christmas. Which I got billed the first of the month, every month, January through December this year, $11. And then she sent 12 things. Just like so to do a 12 Days of Christmas advent calendar. So, I've opened the first 3. So I'm going to do the first 3, show you here now, and then I'm going to open number 4. So she did this gorgeous, look at this pink, purple pink. It's just such a great color. It is called Raspberry. It is a cotton 120 yard skein. And I think I know what I want to do with this because it's such a pretty color. I want to do one of the long dog Piccolinos, something like that. I can't remember the name, but it's the smaller version of the long dogs, and they're supposed to be like about romance and lust and, you know, things like that. So I thought this one might be a really pretty color to do that. So I just have to find which pattern I want to do and the best fabric for it. So, but I love this color. Then day 2 is all these bunch of little goodies. Whatever that's called, a thingy. And the little hoopies that hold on your fabric and some clips. Day 3, we had some floss cards. And these, the magnetic ones that you can put on and hold your fabric in. I've never used these, and I've always wanted to try them, so I'm very excited to try these. So let's look at day 4. I have a pair of scissors here. Let me cut this open. Oh, okay, more floss. Little bobbins. Are these silks? 360 yard silk spool. We have white, gorgeous. We have Persian. Look at this blue. How pretty is that? It's variegated. I think maybe you can see how that's just gorgeous. Ooh, I had to find projects for this. And then another one called Coffee Beans. A nice brown. That's very lovely. I love those. That is so exciting. So that was day 4 of Moe's Sale Advent. So we're going to go ahead and we'll see what the rest is, and I'll show you those at a later date. So I'm going to show you a couple of other things that I've recently purchased and have been working on. I took a trip to Cincinnati, Ohio. I drove there with my dad. He's 81. He wanted to go visit his brother, his brother's wife, his sister, and then his brother has 3 daughters, my cousins, and then there's 3 little babies, and my dad wanted to meet them. So we drove. It took 2 days to get there. Then we were there for a few days, and then we drove 2 days to get home, and we stopped at Keepsakes. And when I say we, my whole family did. I was so appreciative of them indulging me in the time I wanted to spend there, and it was just an amazing store. All the women there are amazing. I do wish I had a little bit more time, and eventually I will go back and check it out and like really spend some time. But I bought I kitted up 2 full projects. The first one I got is the Yule Queen by Primitive Hair. Look at how gorgeous she is. So I got everything to do her, and I do owe an apology to my friend Annie. She is Stitching to Connect Annie on here. We did mention how we were going to start this December 1st, and I have been behind in watching FlossTube, so I haven't seen her, and I don't know if she started. If she did, I apologize. I did not. But I will start her eventually. She is just gorgeous. And then the other one I got, of course, is my birdie. This is by La-Di Da. It is Fractor Flowers. I think, sorry, it's in the case. I hope there's not a glare. But I just loved this one. And this one I did start, and this is how far I have gotten. It's so pretty, and I'm enjoying so much working on this one. It's probably going to take me a while. That's fine. I'm not in a rush, but I love it. And then the other thing I've been working on mainly is my first episode was the unboxing of the nutcracker box. And it came with a nutcracker pattern by ABC Works, or Works by ABC. So I'm working on that. The fabric that came in the box was gorgeous pink fabric, and it was a large piece of it, which I want to save and do something larger on. So I pulled a different pink fabric that I used to have, and this is how far I have gotten. His face is half done. And I'm going to I want to ask, tell me, please, does anybody else just like stop mid-stitch? Like not even finish the thread? Yesterday, I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done today. Again, it is December. It's been a really long weekend, a really long week. And I was going to dinner at my brother's house. So I was just done. I was like, I'm done with this today. And I was supposed to have Stitch Day. I belong to the Connecticut Stitching Circle. We meet up once a month at the Panera in Wallingford, Connecticut. So if you're in the Connecticut area, please feel free to join us. I would suggest going on the Facebook page and check out the dates, because it's usually the first of the month, but not always. The first Saturday of the month, I should say. And I know next year there's going to be a few that are the second Saturday of the month. I did not go this weekend because last minute I decided to go see a play at Yale Rep. I live just outside of New Haven, so Yale's right there. And I do actually have a degree in theater, but I've never been to Yale Rep. And I decided to go because I follow an actor on Instagram who also reads or narrates one of my favorite authors' books. So he reads to me all the time in my car. So I was like, oh, I should go check him out. And he was amazing. It was just so good. The play was called Macbeth in Stride. It was brilliant. I had so much fun. I went by myself. I like doing that. Does anybody else like to do things like that by themselves? I really do. I totally enjoyed it. So, oh, the other thing I want to talk about, Bruce, his name is Bruce. I don't know anything about the Nutcracker musical. I like to name my birds. I like to name people with the faces. The bird in Fracture Flowers, maybe because I haven't started the bird yet, he does not have a name. It hasn't come to me yet, but his name is Bruce. Which brings me to what I purchased at Stitch New England, where I met Amy Zellers from Two Cross Stitchers. She sat next to me at my table. We got along great, and we did a lot of shopping together in the shop, and we bought Glenda's Garden by the Artsy Housewife. And we are going to start this. We're going to start selling it on January 1st. So if you want, join us. It's gorgeous. I know that there were at least, between the two of us, at least 2 other people who bought the pattern and the called for gorgeous fabric. I mean, look at how stunning this is. This is a 20 count Aida. It's from Atomic Ranch, and it is called Pumpkin King. It's just beautiful. And what's fun is that actually Amy has the other half of this piece of fabric. So we are going to start that on the 1st. I don't think we have decided on a hashtag yet. But this bird right here is going to be called Tyrone. Mine is Tyrone 1. Amy's is going to be Tyrone 2. My coworker knows that I name my birds, name things like that, and he's like, you gotta name one Tyrone. And I'm like, oh, okay. So Tyrone. So I'm gonna start him on the 1st. I'm very excited. I have the floss on order through 123 Stitch, and although they were missing 2 of the fabrics, I'm doing the fancy floss, or 2 of the flosses, so I need to look for those. But other than that, I'm ready to start that on the 1st. It is the first time I'll be using 20 count. But I'm going to do 1/1, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. I'm very excited to start that. So that is going to be my New Year's start. I actually don't normally do New Year's starts. I usually do a Christmas start, but I'm switching it up this year, and I will do the New Year's start. So, but I feel like I talked fast. I'm about 22 minutes, and I was hoping to do about 15. I don't want these to be too long. So that is all for tonight. I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please hit like. Come back. I'm hoping to do every 2 weeks. And it's great to chat with you all. So, have a good night and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I hope you have an amazing time and that you get to spend it with the people you love. Bye.